Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is How to Get Away with Murder, Season 4, Episode 6, and the name of this episode is Stay Strong Mama. Man, this show is getting really good. I really love this episode because a lot was revealed in this episode, and we're getting closer and closer to figuring out what happened that night at Complaining Gold, as well as what transpired where everybody's in these odd places, and I'm definitely going to try to get through this as best as I can. And again, if I miss anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But before I get started, for one, let me apologize for the fact that this review was late. I've been under the weather last week, and I'm getting all of my reviews out. So I definitely want to thank you guys for your love and support, but also to let you know I haven't forgotten you. So I'm going to make sure I'll definitely have everything on time this week. But last week was really bad. But before I get started, let me first offer my love and condolences to everyone that were a part of that horrendous tragedy that happened in Texas. Lord, I ask that you actually, help the families and everyone that was involved. Please give them comfort and give them strength to get through this terrible tragedy that has completely blown all of us away. And it's even hard for me to even somewhat talk about it because it's getting to the point where this is just becoming completely insane that people going to church to worship the Lord, can meet their demise by wickedness, and it's crazy. But I'm sending out my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Texas, as well as the tragedy in Vegas, as well as everyone that was affected by the hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Jose, and Maria. If you can give any kind of support or relief, please do so, because our fellow man needs our help, and we definitely need to come together in these horrendous times that we're living in so that we can actually change the narrative of how the way things are going to go from this point on. Okay, now let me start with this review. The episode opens up, Annalise is having a session with Dr. Isaac, and we can already see that there's something up with Dr. Isaac, and a lot of that gets revealed in this episode. So he's having a session with Annalise because, we saw on the last episode, he figured out who Bonnie was. And, he also figured out that she used to work for Annalise. So he's pretty much, he's not going to tell, he pretty much didn't tell her what him and Bonnie talked about, but he asked about Bonnie, and he also asked about, the Keating Five of why you let them go and everything. And he said that, and pretty much Annalise just said that, look, I let her go because I needed time to myself. That's why I let everybody go. How am I going to solve my own problems and I have all these people attached to me? I had to detach everybody so that I can get me right. And that's the reason why I let her go. It was not because she wasn't good. It wasn't because I didn't care. It's because I cared enough for her that I felt that she could stand on her own. But we actually seen that Bonnie has become, very vindictive and messy since Annalise has let her go. And pretty much, she was saying that, look, for one time I realized that in order for me to get myself together, I needed to be alone on this journey. And I couldn't drag them with me. So pretty much Dr. Isaac asked her, so what is it like being alone? What was it like with Sam? And then he asks her, write a letter to Sam. So she's like, oh God, you giving me homework on top of all the other stuff I got to do? Because he actually sees that, she's still focused on filing this civil action suit against the state. The fact that these public defenders are not, given the proper tools to defend their cases. So then we also see that Dr. Isaac is also seeing a shrink as well. Her name is Jacqueline. And he's pretty much saying that, and pretty much Jacqueline is like, look, it seemed to me that Annalise is a trigger for you, and I think you need to send her to another therapist, But he's saying that, no, I'm breaking ground with her. I want to keep working with her, and me just giving her to another therapist would be like me giving up on her or me abandoning her, and all that's going to do is just push her right to the bar, And she's saying that her talking about this lost baby is triggering you. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? So I'm like, all of a sudden lost, and, so I'm just thinking like, okay, something's up with Dr. Isaac, and it explains why his methods are somewhat unorthodox when he's dealing with Annalise. So then we actually see that Annalise is working with Connor, and pretty much they get word that that due to what Bonnie did, the DA is now threatening. You remember Claudia from her inmate that Annalise was in jail with. She's one of the cases that she decided to take on. The DA is threatening her that if they don't drop Annalise as her lawyer, they're gonna seize her mother's house because she had sold drugs out of that house. But then Claudia's like, well, it was my mother who. It wasn't my mother who was selling drugs. I sold drugs. So how can they take her house for something I did? So they sit down with Claudia and her son Tyrone. Now Tyrone is her eldest son, and Tyrone is very slick with his mouth, and he is not here for no BS. I mean, even though he's a little boy, he's a grown man because he's the man of the house. His grandmother's in a wheelchair, and he has a younger brother who looks like he's about maybe 5 or 6, and Tyrone looks like he's about 12 or 13. But he is really strict with his mouth, and he was like, she's like, Annalise was like, I feel your pain, and Tyrone's like, feel my pain? I don't see them taking your house away. And Claudia's like, boy, watch your mouth. Like, where you think you grown that you can just talk anyway to grown folks? But it's like he's just like his mother. He's headstrong, and he's gonna say how he feels. And then Connor's like, look. He tries to talk to Tyrone, and Tyrone was like, man, I don't need you trying to sweet talk to me, man. He's like, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm saying Annalise is going to get to the bottom of this. If she says she's going to solve it, she's going to solve it. Trust me. And then he looks at Annalise and is like, I'm watching you. And Annalise is like, you should. And I got a job to do, and I'm going to do it. Then we actually see at the DA's office, Denver is talking about how, we have stopped Annalise dead in her tracks by going after these, former public defenders cases, and we have no one else to think but Bonnie Winterbottom, and everybody starts clapping, and Nate is just looking at this like, you pathetic bitch. I mean, he just gave that look, and then Bonnie is just still in her feelings, and I'm like, Bonnie gets on my nerves. I mean, I understand why she's doing it, but girl, what she's doing is bigger than the both of you, and you're sabotaging innocent people because of your bruised ego. Bitch, get a life. So, we saw that go on. And we see that, Nate is just not here for the bullshit. And then, we also see a scene with Asher and Frank, because remember, Asher is tutoring Frank for the LSATs. And he pretty much talks to Frank about Michaela, and he's saying that I think something is going on because she lied to me. She told me she was at work, but she was at Laurel's house. And he pretty much just says, go talk to her. So then we go to Kaplan and Gold. We see Oliver is still there working with Michaela, and they're still trying to, and Oliver is paranoid because he's like, I wonder if they figured out about the breach and about us trying to hack into the files. And Michaela's like, look, it's been over a week. If someone ain't said something by now, it doesn't matter. So develop a new song in your head and drop it. And then the next thing you know, we see Tegan come up. She's like, she's pretty much, walk with me. I don't see you walking. I mean, Tegan don't play. She's hardcore. So pretty much she's saying that they want a meeting upstairs, and I need you to come with me. So they go upstairs, and she's like, so you want me to sit in with you? She's like, oh no, this is for partners only, but I need you here to kind of brief you what's going on, but I want you to do some stuff while I'm having this meeting. And And pretty much we see that her other partner, Blake was the one that was running, that Thunderdome game thing that they was doing. And both of them, and then Michaela's like, well, do you need me to do this and do that? And she's like, go back to your desk. Because she told her that it's a strict meeting for partners. And next thing you know, we see that they actually meet, one of the partners. They actually pretty much meet, one of the heads. And it's Laurel's father. So it's like, what the hell is he doing there and what's up? Because they just hacked that account and now he's actually there and he's there with a meeting with only the partners of the firm. So this definitely alerts Michaela and she definitely hits up Laurel. And then Laurel is like getting her ultrasound and all of that. And she also asks questions about a paternity test. So we now realize that's why Laurel's been acting like a stinking bitch, because she don't know who the daddy is. She don't know whether it's Frank or Wes. Because as I said before, she slept with both of them, and we kind of found that out the last episode, but I knew that last season. So then she gets a call from Michaela, and she's letting her know that her father's here, and she was like, no, that can't be. She's like, look, I'm looking right at his ass. He was here. He's here. And Laura's like, look, if my father was here, I'd get a call because he always calls me when he's in town. Next thing you know, she gets a call from her dad. Hey, honey, let's get dinner together. Let's catch up. So I'm like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. So we actually see that Isaac is down at the courthouse, and he runs into Bonnie. And he said that, so he runs into Bonnie. He actually follows her into our office, and he's like, look, I'm worried about you. I just want to see, are you making good progress? Is everything is good? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything is great. Just go. Just leave. And he's like, look, I hope that you follow through with some of those clinics and professionals that I referred to you. I hope you really get to the bottom of this. She's like, I'm doing fine. Just leave. Just leave. Just very dismissive to him. Because Bonnie ain't done through. Bonnie's not over it. Bonnie is still in her feelings. And it gets revealed more in this episode. So we see that Annalise actually goes to a judge to try to get an injunction filed to save Claudia's mother's house. And he pretty much lets it be known that, look, I'm not trying to touch this because what you're doing is that you're leading a crusade against the state of Pennsylvania. You're going to get a lot of public scrutiny, and a lot of people are going to reject you. And he had a point. He had to kind of like snap her into us, like, look, you need to understand what you're a part of. I'm not trying to be attached to this, And she was saying that, look. He was like, what? So you think? And he's saying that maybe I don't think this case is for you. And she was like, oh, so you're trying to say I'm not a good lawyer? He's like, no, you're one of the best. But due to the fact that you are one of the best, they are going to come for you hard. So pretty much, we see that Connor is actually with Annalise, and he's saying, so what did he say? She says that he's not going to move. He's not gonna make a jump. But then Connor's like, okay, so what are you gonna do next? She's like, I'm in the mood to yell. Next thing you know, she goes right into the DA's headquarters, and she goes in. She's like, well, I hope you all are proud of yourself because your actions have now caused for an inmate's mom to lose her house on the account of, and she's like, well, and then like, Denver's like, well, she was selling drugs out of her house. She was selling marijuana. She wasn't even selling nothing hardcore. It wasn't like she was selling meth or cocaine. So I just think this is just a bully tactic. To try to come after me, you're gonna damage a family. Who lives in that house that house has been in their family for 3 generations. Her mother is in a wheelchair, and her 2 sons live there. And you're about to make them homeless and make the boys a part of the system just because you want to ride on your ego. So I hope all of you are happy that you're going home proud that you just that you're about to eradicate a family from their home. I hope you all sleep well at night knowing that what you've done has done nothing but bring justice, but you have brought shame on the community in which we serve. I mean, she went in, and then Denver's like, security, security, and Connor was loving it because she was laying it down, and she really was getting the attention of the DA office. And he called security, and she's like, that's okay, I'm leaving. And then Connor's like, man, if only I could have caught the video of that. You went in. So it's good that him working with Annalise he's now getting his joy back. He's now getting his fight back. He's now getting back that edge. Because, since Connor has dropped out, Connor ain't been doing shit but working out and just having, raunchy sex with Oliver. But he hasn't really done anything. And we even see that Oliver is even happy. She's like, man, if I'd known you playing with Annalise was going to make you better, I would have sent you to go play with her a long time ago. So I thought that was cute. And so then we actually see that back at Kaplan and Gold, Keegan tells Michaela to get her something to eat. Next thing you know, she asks for a burger and fries or whatever. Then Asher's ass comes up. Oh yeah, I will refer to Burger Bar because the way they cook their burgers, delish. And she's like, Keegan's like, who are you? And then Michaela's like, oh, it's nobody. She's like, oh no, I'm Asher. I'm actually Michaela's boyfriend. She's like, oh okay, I like him. So Keegan like her man, and then he pretty much confronts her. It's like, she's like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, why are you lying to me? And she's like, what are you talking about? She said, yesterday you told me you were in the office, but you were actually at Laurel's place. Why are you telling me lies? Why are you hiding things from me? And she's like, look, the only reason why I didn't say anything is because I'm actually Laurel's Le Mans coach, and I'm actually there to try to help her, through her pregnancy. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to get jealous that I was spending more time with Laurel than with you, and all of this. So that's all that's been going on. Everything's okay. So they kind of make up. But then Asher decides to take a teddy bear over to Laurel to say, well, I hope you have a great, delivery. And he gives her the bear and says that, I know you're going to make a good mom, and kind of softens her up. And kind of lets her know that, I'm here for you, just like Michaela's here for you. I'm here for you. But before she got there, Michaela pretty much told Laura that, look, I let him know that I'm your Le Mans coach. Just go with the story. So she does. Alright, I did that. So then we see Bonnie runs into Nate in the bathroom. And so Bonnie's like, so you pretty much, stopped the department from investigating, into Virginia's cases. He was like, yeah, I just put your cases at the back of the line. We got other things to worry about. And he was like, oh, so you mean to tell me the whole time I was thinking you were with me, you were trying to sabotage me the whole time. So what is it? You're going back to screwing Annalise again? He's like, yeah, I sabotaged you, but it wasn't for Annalise. I did it for a greater reason. And you need to understand that Annalise is doing something for a greater reason. And you taking from people just so you can get a weak-ass applause from the DA's office? Yeah, you need to wake the fuck up. And he walked out, and I was like, okay, Nate, you're starting to get me back on your team. I'm starting to see it now. And I was like, yeah, he does make a good point. Like, you practically just damn near about to evict a family, and all you got out of it was some damn applause from Denver in the rest of the DA office. So he's saying that you need to wake up. And then we actually see... So then we actually get the scene with we see that there's three scenes that go on simultaneously. We see that Laurel meets up with her father, and her father gives her some news, and the news as to the reason why he was in town was because he's having a meeting, and his company Antares is about to go public. So And then we see that Michaela is having a meeting with Tegan, and her and Tegan are talking. Tegan talks about how she sacrificed a lot for her career. She sacrificed love and sex to be the top bitch that she is in her game. And she says she talks about this girlfriend that she used to have, she kind of gave up her love life to focus on her career. And she pretty much has done research on Tegan, so she knows Tegan likes this certain kind of gin. So they pretty much crack open the gin and they sitting there talking, and pretty much she's saying that everything's about to change. And like Michaela's like, what's about to change? She was saying, if you open your mouth and say anything, I promise I will slit your throat. And she's like, okay, and she pretty much says the same thing about the meeting with Laurel's father, that Charles is about to go public, and because this is a huge client, there's going to be a lot of money for all the partners involved, and she's like, I won't have to work for anybody else. I can start my own firm and hire you. So, and then all of a sudden we kind of see that Michaela is getting really intrigued by Tegan. I'm like, is Tegan telling you on Michaela? Like, you really thinking about taking a swim in the lady pool? Just saying. And then Laurel's dad lets her know that, look, you are going to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. And Laurel's like, we're already rich. She's like, no, but you're going to be rich because I'm giving you 10% of the company, and, and like by the time it goes public, yeah, you will be ranking in big money. And she says, and he's like, don't worry, I've taken care of anything that's going to get in the way of this deal going through, because this deal is for sure going to go through, and I've taken care of any problems that may have surfaced in the past. So immediately we see that Laurel is starting to make the damn connection. So therefore they all come together, Oliver, Michaela, and Laurel, and pretty much, Michaela's like, your father's not here because of the breach of the security or nothing like that. Antares is going public, and there's no harm in it because Tegan's happy, everybody's going to be happy because there's going to be a lot of money off of this deal. And then Laurel, and then Michaela, and then like Laurel's like, no, you both are missing the point. Antares going public is the reason why my father killed Wes. And she's like, come again? Laurel explains it. Denver had files on every single one of us. So once, Wes was going to turn on Annalise, he called my father and let him know about that. And due to the fact that I was involved, because we even know about her, that whole kidnapping thing, Denver brought that up. How the hell did he know that shit? Because Denver is working with her father. So he said that what happened was that he alerted my father to what Wes was about to do, which was going to air out everything, including me, which will affect everything he's trying to do, because I'm attached to him because I'm his daughter. So me being involved in all this shit, yeah, it would have gotten out to the public, and it would have ruined him, it would have ruined any chance of Antares going public, and that's why he sent Dominic to kill Wes. And I was like, holy shit. So she's saying that, yeah, this company going public, this is the reason why Wes is dead. So pretty much what we have to do is leak the files before Antares goes public. So I'm like, oh shit. Then we actually see that Annalise tries to write a letter, to Sam, and she just can't think of anything to say. So then she goes to Dr. Eisen and says that I didn't write you a letter, but I brought this. And she brought a picture of her, Sam, and their dead son that was taken, after he was born, but then he had passed away shortly afterwards. And she's saying that, yeah, it just makes me think back to when I was like sticking myself with needles, fighting with Sam about, maintaining my pregnancy and watching my drinking and all of that. you know. And he was saying, and then like he tried to soften her, you know, it's not your fault. And she's like, look, that's the fucking problem. Stop trying to steer this situation. Let me feel guilty, you know. And she's saying that most people don't even know that I actually tried to kill myself when I got home. She says that I literally drunk myself into a stupor and I took a bottle of sleeping pills. Bonnie found me and saved my life. And she's like, I want to drink so bad you have no idea. So then we see that again, Isaac meets up with Jacqueline. Jacqueline's saying that, look, obviously this is becoming too much for you. You need to pull out. You know, I mean, once dead children, suicide, you know, this is coming too close to what you experienced. You need to drop this case. And I'm not, and she's like, look, I don't think I'm here for this ride anymore. And he's like, well, fine, you know, I respect where you stand, but then I have to do what I think is best, and I'm sticking with her, and it is what it is. So then we see Bonnie tries to talk to Denver and tries to get him to kind of, you know, not to go so hard on Claudia's family by taking the house. She's saying that, look, we proved our point. We'll need to go that extra. She was like, well, it's okay. I have something better for you. And he lets her know that you've been reassigned because you're too emotionally involved in this situation because it involves Annalise. So, you know, take the rest of the day off and we'll take it from here. So I'm like, so now she realizes that, hell, you done played a deal with the devil and now the devil is shutting you down. And that's what her ass gets. So therefore, we see Oliver back at Command Gold. He talks to Lancelot, who's the IT guy. And the IT guys are very geeky, and they like to talk about systems, they like to talk about configurations and all that. So he kind of rubs elbows with Lancelot, and because what they had is that they did change the computer system, because they probably didn't know about a breach, so they now made the system solid-proof, and the only people that can get in it is members of IT and the partners. So pretty much Laurel's like, okay, you're going to have to get Tegan to get into the system because that's the only way you're going to get in. And she's like, but she's been waiting on this. You know, this is like her dream. And you want me to ruin her dream? And she's like, but this is for Wes. So I'm like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. So we see that Connor comes in and he comes into Annalise's, room or whatever. He sees that she's like writing a letter to Sam, and he's like, "So what are you writing letters to Sam?" And she's like, "Well, damn, why you going through all my stuff and everything? You nosy ass." But then he was like, "But this just gave me an idea, though. Let's take this to the public. Let Tyrone write a letter to the newspaper." And then maybe that can actually help them to save that. Maybe that can help them to save their home. And she was like, "People don't read newspapers anymore. Remember when we was at the DA's office? You said that you wish you could have that when I went off on the DA's office that you told me that you wish that that you had told me that you wish you could have taken and made it go viral." And he was like, "Yeah." So like, okay, there's our answer. Let's make this go viral. So they hold a press conference at the court. Tyrone is speaking, talking about how they're about to take away his grandmother's house, that the house has been in that house for 3 generations, and we see that Annalise and Connor's there, and they literally hold a press conference, leading a mobilization to save their home, and that, at the end of the day, them taking away them taking away Claudia's family's house is just borderline cruelty, and her mother shouldn't have to pay for Claudia's mistake. So after that, she was able to go to the George to get that injunction, and they saved the house. And they're playing it on TV. Bonnie's in her feelings and turns it off because Frank was watching, and he's like, "I'm watching this," and Bonnie's like, "It's my house." I'm like, "Yeah, you mad because you got sat down with your mean ass." So therefore, so we saw that go down. So we got that straightened out, and then, Claudia, and then so Annalise tells Claudia, like, "Look, I know, after all of this, you probably do want to get you another lawyer, and I won't be mad if you do. And she says, oh, hell nah. You done gave me something to believe in, so get up off your ass because you got work to do. And I was like, that's what's up. Claudia is on team with Annalise because she's seeing how much of a hard fighter she is, and that, yeah, she promised her son and she delivered on it. So now Claudia is now team Annalise, so that was good. Now, remember when I was talking about, Tegan getting into that Tegan is the only one that can get to the into the database at the firm? Well, that bear that Asher gave to Laurel, the bear is actually a tape recorder and it's also a video camera. So pretty much everything they talked about, on tourists going public, pretty much, what's her name? Laurel's father killing Wes, and knowing everything about how it all went down. The bear picked up everything, so Asher now realizes that Michaela lied again about her hanging out with Laurel. That really, they're trying to stop Laurel's father because he killed Wes. So this pissed Asher off, and Asher packs up his shit and he leaves. And she's like, Asher, don't do this. I love you. He's like, you lied to me. You don't lie to people that you love. So he's over it. But now he knows all the information. So if he go public with this, he can put all of their asses in jeopardy. So I'm like, ooh, the wrong person got the wrong info. So we're going to see how this goes down. Then we actually see he goes to see Bonnie. And, Bonnie is like, why is everybody coming over here? This is my house. What does everybody want with me? And Asher was like, look, I'm just here to see how you doing. And trying to see what's going on with you. And she still has that connection with Asher because the two of them used to date. So this will allow Bonnie to break down, and she cried, because she now realizes she made a mess of everything, and now she don't look good at the end of it. So now it fast forwards to, so then we actually see Annalise goes to her house, and she actually, the woman Jacqueline that's been sitting with Isaac, she runs into Annalise and she introduces herself that, hi, my name is Jacqueline. I'm actually Dr. Isaac's ex-wife. So I'm like, oh shit! And then we actually see him watching a video of his daughter, and he just breaks down crying hysterically. So he lost a child, and I think she killed herself, and him going through that depression broke up his marriage. So even though him and his ex-wife was still cool, she's kind of like, a psychiatrist, and she's trying to help him. Because we actually see that, yeah, he's suffering from the same type of illness that Annalise is suffering, a loss of a child. And the kind of pain and hurt that comes with that. So we actually see that, wow, Dr. Isaac is just as screwed up as Annalise is. So then we get a fast forward to 1 week later. Laurel screaming, where's my baby? Michaela's crying. Everybody dies. He calls Annalise and it's like, Annalise, where the hell are you? She's awake. And then we actually go back to Complaining Gold. Somebody got killed there. We don't know who. We see Asher's in jail. So Asher is involved in somehow. And then we get the last shot. We see someone in the shower. There's blood going down the drain. And Annalise is in the damn shower running blood off of her. So I'm like, Annalise is involved, but the question is, what does she do and how does she get blood on her? So that's going to be interesting as to how all of that played out. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Excuse me. And also, I've started a GoFundMe account. You can actually find that link in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of How to Get Away with Murder. So until then, everybody, take care.